Hello, good night all, and welcome back to my cooking tutorials. Tonight I'm going to do a turkey neck, a brown stew turkey neck tutorial, and we're going to jump right in. So here in this bowl I have about 2 pounds of turkey neck, and it has already been cleaned, and it's been washed in cold water and vinegar. And then these are the seasonings that I'm going to use in the cooking process and in the pre-seasoning process. So in this bowl, I have 1 teaspoon of black pepper. I have 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, 1 tablespoon of Goya adobo, and 1 tablespoon of Maggi all-purpose seasoning. And here I have, this is thyme. This is the actual thyme leaf I'm going to put on the turkey neck, and this is some sprigs of thyme that I will add back in at the end of the cooking process. I have a tomato. This is 1 whole plum tomato diced up. I have here garlic. I have some of them in whole cloves, and I have some chopped up. The chopped up one is for seasoning, and the whole cloves is to put in when it's boiling. It helps to tenderize the meat. I also have some Scotch bonnet pepper. I went ahead and cut off of that piece over there and diced up. I have some scallion. This is about 2 sprigs of scallion chopped up. Half of an onion. And I love sweet pepper, so I went ahead and cut up about 1 cup of sweet peppers, which is just different color ones. I also have a can of butter beans that I'm going to use in there also. I have Grace Browning, and that's 2 teaspoons of Grace Browning that I'm going to use. And this is the oil I use. It's olive oil. I'm going to use 1/2 cup in the browning process of the turkey neck. Also, just to show you, this is a picture of the ingredients, the brands that I use. You can use whatever brands you can find. This is the Maggi all-purpose. This is the Goya adobo. This is the allspice that I use, and I crushed it up. Well, I didn't mention, but it is right here crushed up and ready to go. And this is the ground black pepper, the onion powder, and the garlic powder. So these are all the ingredients that I'm going to use, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you how I season up my turkey neck. Stay tuned. Okay, I'm back. So here I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put in all the seasonings that I had showed you before in the turkey neck. I'm going to put in the thyme leaves. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add the browning. Try to get out, as much of it as possible out of the cup. If you can spoon it, the rest of it out. I'm going to put some of the garlic, some of the scallion, a few pieces of onion. Oops, sorry for that. And I'm going to put in some of the allspice, a little bit of the hot pepper that I prepared. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to massage the seasoning into the meat. Just make sure you massage it in well so you get all of the seasoning on all the pieces of turkey neck. Alright, stay tuned. I'm going to come back and show you how to start it. Okay, so you're going to put the rest of the ingredients to the side, and this will be in the later stage of the cooking process of the turkey neck. We'll add these in to finish up and to make a gravy. So here I have the oil heating in the pot. It's already hot. So I'm going to go ahead and actually add in my meat, and you want to be careful because the pot is hot. And you want to just take your time and kind of like turn the meat in the hot pot. And then what I normally do, because I don't use a pressure cooker, most people use a pressure cooker to cook turkey neck or oxtail because it's a very hard meat to cook and it takes a little bit of time. I'm going to slow cook it. So my cooking time is probably going to be about an hour, but it's going to be like a cook down and add water type of thing. So right now there's already a little bit of excess water in there from the washing process of the meat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually cover the pot. And I'm going to let that go ahead and it's going to boil up actually. And then all the water is going to actually dry out of it. And it's going to go down to oil. And it's going to begin to fry the turkey neck. And when that happens, I'll come back and I'll show you how the browning process is before I add in the water. And I have some water on the stove that has been boiling, and I'm going to add it in there, probably about 2 cups of water, or just enough to cover the meat, and I'm going to let it boil on high. And then I'm going to let it go down again, the same process. This is the browning process, and this is the way to help it cook quicker without using a pressure cooker. And then I'll come back and I'll show you everything. So stay tuned for the rest of the tutorial. Remember I said I would come back and show you. This is actually how the meat is boiling. And this water that's in here is from the meat. It's naturally from the meat and from the washing process. So this is what we want to get off of the meat originally. I want it to cook down till it gets to oil, where it will fry the turkey neck and kind of brown it. As I said, it helps in the cooking process. Once it gets down to oil, I'll come back and I'll show you. Stay tuned. Okay, here I'm back again. And this is the part that I told you that when the water boils down, it becomes oil. So this is basically oil. And you can see how it helps to make the meat brown. Look at that beautiful, rich, dark color that the meat is getting from the water boiling off and actually going down to oil. So look at that pretty brown color. And this is how you kind of like brown the turkey neck so it gets the beautiful color that it's supposed to have when it's cooked, when it's finished cooking. But this is how to get that pretty color. You just let it go down to oil. Sorry, I'm doing this one-handed, so that's why the pot is kind of moving around. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add in my boiling water now. So I know what 2 cups of water looks like, I thought. But if you do not, you might want to measure it. You can either add in 2 or maybe 3 cups of water. Maybe 3 cups of water might be actually better to add in. We'll see. So go ahead and add in your boiling water, which the stove is pretty much on high. And I'm adding in enough to cover the meat. And I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to cover the pot. And I'm going to let that cook down. It's probably going to take about maybe 15 to 20 minutes to dry this water back down again to that oil. And then I'm going to do it the same process one last time, where I stir the meat up and then I add in the boiling water. Once I add in the boiling water the second time, I'll just let it cook thoroughly. Sometimes you have to come back and do it a third time. Not cook all the way down, but just add more boiling water to finish the cooking process, because this is a slow cook method. This is not the method of using a pressure cooker, which when you use a pressure cooker, it tends to cook quicker. It shortens the cooking time. But I honestly think that a pressure cooker takes the flavor out of the meat. I think this way the meat holds its flavor. That's just my personal opinion. Everybody does things that's more convenient for them. So anyway, I'll come back and I'll show you once the meat is pretty much cooked, before I add in the rest of the ingredients and finish cooking it down to make a gravy. So stay tuned. I'll come back with the end result. Back again, and this is going to be the actual finished part of the tutorial. So the turkey neck has been cooking down for about an hour. It has been boiling. So at this point it's cooked, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add in the rest of the seasoning, which is the fresh seasoning that I showed you in the beginning that I cut up, and I'm going to add the beans and everything in there at this point. So just go ahead and add the stuff in there. And just kind of stir it around to get everything in the pot. And then go ahead and add in the ketchup. that was about a half a cup of ketchup. I'm going to add just a tad little bit of water because I want to have enough gravy. And then just kind of like stir this up and turn down the fire and let this kind of like get to a boil. And it's going to cook the tomatoes and the onions and all of the things that's in there. And it's going to come down to a nice gravy. You can taste for salt. And if it tastes like it needs some salt, you can add some in. Or if you have a bouillon packet, you can add a little bit of that back in it. So basically, this is how it's supposed to look right before the end process. So I'm just going to let this boil down for about maybe 5 to 10 minutes. And I will come back and I will show you the finished results. Also, you can add in, sometimes I add in just a tad bit of soya sauce in there also. But anyway, I'll come back and show you the finished results in a little while. Stay tuned. Okay, so I'm back. So this is it. This is the end result. This is the finished product of the turkey neck. So this is how your gravy should look. It's pretty thick. You don't want it too thin, but it's pretty rich. And the meat looks nice. And with the beans and stuff in there. And Jamaican people, some Jamaican people call this ghetto oxtail. I love turkey neck. It's bony, but I love it. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope you try it. And you know, let me know what you think. Comment below, and let me know, you know, if there's anything else you want me to show you or explain to you, or if you have something you want me to cook that you want me to do a tutorial for. Just let me know. Leave me a message down below. And also, I will be putting in the description box the ingredients that I use with the measurements, so you can follow along. And I will come back and show you a plated picture of the turkey neck. See you later. Thanks for watching my channel. See you next time.